Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The impeachment motion of Rigathi and the subsequent appointment and approval of the Interior CS Kithure Kindiki has attracted the attention of both internal and external authorities. If you've noticed, one of the reasons why people believe that Kithure Kindiki could could be disappointed is the fact that when William Ruto appointed him, William Ruto indicated that he was cleared by the IEBC. But many experts believe that IEBC, as is currently constituted, does not have any mandate to conduct any elections and even to clear any presidential candidate or deputy or conduct the business as was purported by William Samoei Ruto. We have about 11 pending by-elections, both at the county and the constituency levels, just because we do not have a properly constituted independent electoral and boundary commission. This is after Chebukati, Boyamulu, and the other commissioner, served their terms and they finally retired, so to speak, and the Cherera-4 were ousted from office. And when Marjan, who is now the CEO of the IEBC, purported to have cleared Kithure Kindiki, it has brought a lot of legal battle. But one person has been watching this. It has attracted the eye of our prefect, Meg Whitman, who is representing Joe Biden and the US. So Meg Whitman realized that everything is becoming a mess now. We could fall into a need for an election. You remember, even after Pio and I and the group went into government, his place remained vacant, that constituency. But there isn't any by-election that has been conducted. Some of them, falling vacant as far as last year. So Meg Whitman had a meeting with the IEBC officials led by Hussein Marjan, who's the CEO. And after that meeting, there is something he said that is going to form the basis of our analysis. This is exactly what she said. If you can look, there is a meeting there. And then after coming out, the US Embassy, Nairobi, said this: IEBC Kenya's ability to support democracy in Kenya is at risk without the recruitment of commissioners or parliamentary action to provide IEBC funding for voter registration, by-elections, and other election activities. The United States supports Kenya's democracy through USAID Kenya. That is US talking. That is Joe Biden talking to William Ruto indirectly. That it is long overdue. You need to reconstitute IEBC properly so that it can run its functions. We don't understand why up to now there is no urgency. We don't see any person pushing for the formation of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission formation. No one is talking about it. Yes, this is a very important unit in our democracy. It cannot be that both the government and the opposition no longer realize that there is need, not just need, but an urgent need to form the IEBC. That it forces the US to tell them that there is need, because sometimes we have allowed ourselves to be controlled by all these colonial masters, these figures. On this, I think this is the only time I have ever concurred and agreed with Meg Whitman. I was reading some of the comments, and some people are telling him, why are you bothered? Why are you getting into meddling in our internal affairs? Some people still recall that the USA meddled in our elections, but they've been doing that anyway. So they just feel like Meg Whitman is perpetuating this kind of the bully activity of making sure that they want to remind us of what to do. But on this, I agree with her. In this video, let us try to look at why is it that why is it that we do not have a properly, constituted IEBC, but no one is talking about it. It is very important. It is not just by mere accident that everyone is quiet. That's what I want us to look at. And before we delve so much into it, please subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell. Allow me to request you to give this video likes, and thank you for your support. Those who share videos, I really, really want to thank you in a very special way. Ladies and gentlemen, after the Gen Z protest, when William Ruto succumbed to the pressure, William Ruto dissolved his cabinet only to come and reconstitute it later, adding in the names of retaining the names of those who Kenyans had lamented about, people like Chirchir and Murkomen. There was a very big debate that members of parliament who voted to support the Finance Bill 2024 were supposed to be impeached. In the constitution, there is a recall clause where members of the constituency that support, or rather where an MP is coming from, can garner a certain number of signatures, and they start recalling that member of parliament if they are tired of him, and they take the signatures to the IEBC offices, and the officials will verify if the signatures are correct, and then they start the impeachment of their members of parliament. This was so serious because if you realize the manner in which the Gen Zs were conducting their affairs, they were very serious. So members of parliament are an impediment to the formation of the IEBC appointment of the commissioners. Why? They're reluctant. They're not pushing it because they know that if they do, there is that fear that some of them can be recalled. I'm sure if that IEBC would be reconstituted today, members of parliament who impeached Rigathi in Mount Kenya would find it very difficult. You've seen the way it's difficult for them to mingle normally with the electorate. They would start a recall of some of those members of parliament. Those who voted for the finance bill, basically, I have a feeling that 3/4 of those members of parliament would be chased because people are very tired. Apparently, the problem arose because of the Azimio coalition. Kalonzo Musyoka, the member of Wiper party, had recommended that his person, or a person who's lied to him, this is Ambassador Kokimuli, was wanted the name of Kokimuli to be recommended to the IEBC. The Azimio coalition had submitted the name of one Mr. Dr. Augustus Muli. But then Kalonzo wanted his person to be there, Ambassador Koki Muli. Both of them are Muli. So Dr. Augustus Muli went to the political parties dispute tribunal to appeal against this mission, and he won. So the delay has been because of Kalonzo Musyoka. But the members of parliament do not want to push, because if they wanted this, they would push, and within a day, the thing could have been done, because it requires the names to be, those who are interested to apply, they're interviewed, and then the process takes off. So one of the reasons why this cannot happen urgently is because of the members of parliament fearing recall clause. Number two, when Gen Zs were subdued, they were really pushing for it. But when they were subdued, they went silent, and therefore there is no one to continue pushing for the recall of for the formation of the IEBC. Of late, I've only seen Okiya Mutata trying to push for it and saying that William Ruto is busy, engrossing us on the impeachment motion. Yet there are other more important things to be done. So when Gen Zs, were silenced, they decided that we will look for 2027. They even dropped the bid to try and impeach the members of parliament by recalling them. Number three, ODM dropped the push, or rather Azimio dropped the push. Why? After Raila and the ODM decided to support William Samoei Ruto, the push to form the right IEBC with these structures dropped. And this is why I'm telling you that Raila is a government on itself. When it's quiet, everything is quiet. When it starts pushing for things, people gain momentum. So because of the ODM entry into that broad-based, I don't know, bread-based, I don't know what based government, that push stopped. Had Raila been there pushing for it, people would have, it would have picked up well. So that the death of opposition, because we do not have an opposition, it's not as vibrant as it used to be, and it brings me to the other point that it is the inept kind of opposition that is remaining. After ODM pulled away, Wiper and because Martha Karua also pulled out, so Kalonzo Musyoka, Jeremiah Kioni, Eugene Wamalwa are busy, trying to issue statements here and there, but there's nothing that they can do. They are toothless, or if they have their teeth, then they don't want to bite. By now, people expected that they should have called for mass demonstrations against what they feel is not right, against the formation of, IEBC. They should have pushed for it. So we have a very inept opposition remaining. That's the reason why we do not have that agency. It has not been formed, and of course the wrangling within the Azimio, Kalonzo stopped it, and then it went to the political parties dispute resolution committee. Now, the government, instead of focusing on the real issues, are now engaged in side shows. Things like impeaching the deputy president is of priority to them than giving us a new IEBC or new commissioners. This lack of focus, this lack of priority has also messed our nation. Otherwise, by now we should have had a new IEBC or new commissioners. We should have gone for by-elections, and you know that's why we don't have a properly constituted IEBC. And I don't know, because now the American embassy is saying that they will curtail giving money. They can only give money if the IEBC is properly constituted. They are threatening. And I know William Ruto is under pressure. This will take off after they have gotten into it. It formed the basis of discussion whether Kithure Kindiki was properly appointed and approved. And is there any other reason why you think we don't have a new IEBC or commissioners? And on this, do you support Meg Whitman? I know this is the only time I'm with Meg Whitman. I've never liked her for messing our elections, for pitching camp when we were verifying, tallying, and verification was taking place, and later saying that this was the freest election that we've ever had. But now there's no difference, because the people who are saying that their votes were rigged, are their victory was taken away from them, are in government. So the push, that push is gone.